Yeah, I'm ASC. How you doing? Now, I want to clarify two things before I start this video. One, the main, I guess part of this video that I put, in the title and everything, is half clickbait. I haven't quit SMP content, or more specifically, unscripted SMP content, just because one video has worked. It's not I'll explain everything which I'm thinking and feeling towards that a little later. The second thing is that I'm going to have a lot of background noise because I live in a uni dorm and that's just how it's going to work. Anyway, back to the point. This video that it is essentially explaining what my kind of thought process is after my most recent video has done pretty decently well. Okay, I'll get into that a little later. What I wanted to actually explain is unscripted SMP content. So I've been making unscripted SMP content for near 2 to 3 years at this point. It's just been the thing I have done. But slowly I've been I feel like people will misconstrue it as me enjoying it less. I just simply wanted to do less of the conventional stuff which you see in videos. For example, PvP. I don't really enjoy making a PvP montage. I don't think it makes me feel better. I really enjoy recording it. I was even getting good FPS on most of the servers I was on because my PS4 sucks and it's old and it can't handle some of the things that are going on in SMPs at all. It can't handle it. And it gets to a point where I am literally I'm recording fights on more literally 10 FPS. It's not enjoyable to play, it's not enjoyable to watch. I enjoy PvP outside of that, on crossplay servers and all that kind of stuff, or I'm playing Java itself, but on add-ons or just regular Bedrock, it just actually struggles to be able to handle anything. So it's just not enjoyable to record, it's not enjoyable to edit, it's not enjoyable to upload. So I wanted to, I think mid 2025, I just wanted to get rid of the kind of stuff from my content. So after I finished my hour-long video, I said I'm not doing any more PvP content. I didn't say it publicly, but I just wanted to make more ideas which are focused on the story rather than making that on, the literal, just anything else that was PvP that wasn't PvP. I just wanted to make content on. It wasn't building, it was just story. That was my focus. I'll explain, I guess, more the origins of why I created the project I did in another video if anyone wants to actually hear that kind of stuff, in the behind the scenes of the most recent video. But I'm gonna just explain it's that video in relation to my content right now. So when it came to the end of the start of this year, I essentially released a Google document explaining 2025 sucked, blah blah blah. That was something I made I think 5 months ago now, and I realized that if I have enough time on my hands to realistically write a 2,000 word document about how much a year sucked, I don't think I should be continuing the same thing I did last year. I don't think that's the plan of action here. So I decided essentially I was gonna upload more content, but also I have to figure out some way to be able to make this stuff easier to produce and also more enjoyable. And obviously scripted was something else that kind of doing well for a while. It wasn't something I was into. I was always watching scripted stuff, so I was I'd literally written videos early 2025 just purely because of the fact I wanted to experiment with writing it, but I never actually went into making scripted SMP content because I enjoyed the scripted more. It's literally as simple as that. I enjoyed making scripted more, even though I knew that my audio was stuck and all this different stuff. But when I started to do university and I got my own room I'm in right now, which it might be noisy for some recordings, that's literally the only debuff. I get every single upgrade possible here, even if it's not something other people see as large. I kind of just had a full kind of mindset shift on what I wanted to make. Not entirely, because I didn't have the resources to be able to fully switch the content I wanted to make or whatever the hell, but I had enough of an idea in my head that I want to just execute. Obviously, the issue is when you want to try and do something as big as the project I did, there's a lot of issues when it comes to budget. For example, everything you see in that video except for maybe the library stuff was just off of Planet, literally off of just sites in general. No, not even just Planet Minecraft, just off sites. So I had to work with a bunch of pre-made sets, which not the best, but it's whatever. I had to make my own sets, which also took a while. Making all this different stuff for a project which I really didn't see working out. My automatic thought when it came to it was I was making this kind of thing as a passion project more than actually something that would work. And like I said, I won't get into the history of all it. Like I said, I'll explain all that in like a behind the scenes video if people want it. But the point is now is what it actually means. Because now the video is done like well, you know, it's not done so well that I could say, oh, this is step one to me becoming the most successful. And I can't, unfortunately. And yeah, 3.5k is still not enough to be able to like be monetized or anything like that. It's not even close, but it's enough for me to visibly see that there is like I don't have to just do the same thing everyone else is doing and just hope it works anymore, or have to suffer with like unhearable audio or all these different things which I've been dealing with like the last few years, which are just suck to deal with. I can just make whatever content I want, and it might work possibly maybe 1 out of 100 times. And that is an interesting thought. I think the issue I mostly had when it comes to this content that I want to obviously try, but obviously it's a gamble. It's definitely a bigger gamble than anything which I already like, you know, have in my head. Is yeah, I can try this content. Yeah, I can try this like unique, different style, you know, in quotes. But also, I know that some people aren't gonna like it. I know some people aren't really gonna like this serious tone of it, or think it's too edgy, or think it's too cringe, or blah blah blah. But also, there is like a chance of people actually liking it. People actually think you know, they like the direction that I'm doing this content in. So it's kind of just a gamble whether like it performs well, whether people like it, and it kind of worked because the original plan was to make this stuff as filler content. Even though it's like an hour long, it was supposed to be filler content for the longer stuff, which was going to be unscripted content. But also, the issue is now, unscripted content is a lot larger, and like the videos are like 2 hours long. Not 2 hours long, but like 1 hour long. It takes a hell of a lot more time to make. I don't really have any form of care for trying to join like a PvP heavy SMP like I did. Like I was, bro, at some point in time I think I joined like 50 SMPs in a year. I don't need to be in that grind set again. I'm good. I don't need to logically do that anymore. So when it comes to that, I'm not really, the point is of this video, I guess, I don't quit SMP content per se, because the stuff I'm even making right now, I could easily said, oh, this is an ARG, this is a like cinematic different. No, I called this thing, this project, this series that I guess I'm working on now, SMP Originals, because I wanted to keep this within the SMP, I guess, genre. It is like, yes, a lot more cinematic, a lot more replay heavy, but it is still based on SMPs, and it's still using the same logic that those servers use, and just making a story around that. That's the general plan. And when it comes to me making unscripted SMP content, I'll definitely consider doing it, and I'm definitely still a lot more interested in doing unscripted SMP content on the, like, you know, if it's, because they'll have like the ability to get better audio, like at least like better Discord audio. It's so much more easy for me to actually make the content better, because that was actually the biggest issue. Like, quite honestly, the biggest issue of me making Bedrock SMP content, or unscripted SMP, Jesus Christ, the name's so long, unscripted SMP content, was I had to have Discord audio. I could not have that easily without having to like literally have some mechanism to flip and get Discord audio. You use this device. I can't be asked. I don't have that anymore. I can make it a lot easier. So if I ever get an opportunity where I can record it easily, I will. But if I don't, I'm just gonna focus on this like whole SMP originals thing. See if it like works. If it doesn't work, probably just gonna keep doing it. Like, to be completely honest with you, it's not like something which I've been like trying to get into for years and years, and I finally have a chance. It's just something I want to try. I want to try like at least do like a few episodes of this, see how it does. I'm probably not gonna like change the cinematic style of it. That's always gonna stay the same. I might make it like more package friendly in general, depending on how it does and all that stuff. But my plan is to keep the integrity of the series just to be cinematic SMP videos, which I can make as cool as I want to. If people don't like the style, that's fair enough. I'm not gonna try and like force you to watch it, but I'd suggest giving it a try. That's my only kind of wish when it comes to that kind of content. I guess to answer the question in the title, I have not quit SMP content. I just have changed it slightly to make it easier to record, and I guess just easier to make cool stories, because I want to do that. Like, I have ideas. I'm not the most talented person in the flipping world. I've spent years trying to develop these abilities to be able to make this kind of content, to be able to make my own thumbnails, my own like edit my own videos, and like write everything myself. I've been doing that for years. I just know this at this point. But I wanted to be able to like fully just try in a video. Like, even like that video specifically, I didn't get to fully try. A lot of the video had to be like budget cutted, or things had to be cut out. Like, once again, I will say I will make a full video on that if people want to see it. Like explaining like the things that got cut out and the behind the scenes of all that video. But when it comes to like just me making the video itself, that part was just like a lot more easy to do than unscripted content, which just not easy for me to do on the PS4, which can barely handle the FPS and all that kind of stuff that I guess it has to deal with when I have to do PvP. So I guess that's answered the main question. I guess for the future, I am focusing on making my second episode of this video, of this I guess series now, and I'm working on it literally like right now after this video. Gonna get straight into it, and then episode 3 is already like fully planned and written down, and possibly episode 4 is also written down as planned. So I have plans with it. Hopefully people enjoy it. Like, there's gonna be short episodes, there's gonna be longer ones. That's generally how it's gonna work. I'm not planning to make every single one the same length. That's not the plan. I plan to upload more, so I'm planning to, like, even though I'm doing like a uni course, I'm planning to make more content, so I will also make the videos easy for me to make sometimes. That's generally just what I want to explain. I want to explain the fact that I'm not quitting SMP content. So if you're thinking I'm doing that just by making unscripted SMP content, I'm just not doing it right now until I figure out an easier way to do it. The only video I have recorded entirely, and I don't know what to do with it right now, I'll say this, is my obscure season 4 video. But like I said before, the story itself is weird. I could probably make it work, but we're gonna have to redo the entire script now, and also refine some of the footage and deal with the terrible audio. All that stuff is gonna have to be done if I want to make the video. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm just gonna bench it for a little bit. It's gonna sit on my laptop, and I'm gonna see what I want to do, and that's, I guess, the plan for everything. So if you enjoyed a little commentary video, I make these longer and I'll speak less fast, because I'm just literally, this is off the dome. This is literally just like off the dome kind of thoughts. So I want to just like get this all out so I can just relax the rest of the day and work on this video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this, then I guess comment or something like that. I don't know, bro. What do people do anymore, bro? Subscribe? Yeah, that one of those? Okay, hit it, bro. Hey, anyway, later.